While Democrats and the left focus on social issues, the rest of the country is concerned about the sky-high prices at the pump. Federal officials are concerned that the power grid of heartland America could be at risk over the next several months. Meanwhile, Joe Biden tried his best to convince Americans that the economy is going well. Let's listen to what he said.
Since I took office, families are carrying less debt. Their average savings are up. A recent survey from the Federal Reserve found that more Americans feel financially comfortable than any time since the survey began in 2013.
Joined now by Dick Morris, advisor to Presidents Trump and Clinton. Dick, your take on that?
I didn't realize they included Martians in the sample because those are the only people that I think feel more comfortable at this point, assuming the economy on Mars is any good. The Americans do not feel comfortable. And in fact, the more the election is about the economy, the worse the Democratic chances become. And because people know that there was no inflation before, and now there's enormous inflation. And they know that the wage growth is completely eaten up by inflation. The stats Biden cited, for example, yeah, sure, they're saving more, but each dollar they're putting into the savings account is worth less because of inflation. And unless you adjust for that inflation, his stats are just ridiculous.
Yeah, in fact, we just got the numbers that last month wages were up 5.2%. But when inflation's up over 8.5% or over 8%, and then, Dick, when it says 8%, I always think that everybody should have a personalized kind of consumer price index, because that's an overall number. When you and I go to the store, if there's something we buy that's up 25%, that's not 8%. That's 25%.
Let me explain about that. The Consumer Price Index is a horribly flawed mechanism because it's based on a constant market basket. It says if you bought a dozen eggs last week, you're going to buy a dozen eggs this week. But it doesn't say that you're going to replace the eggs with pancake batter because you're going to switch your menu for breakfast because the eggs cost too much. It doesn't take into account changing shopping habits. And as a result, it way, way, way misses the target on inflation because it doesn't take real account of buying patterns. It's just a standard market basket survey. The much more effective measurement is the gross domestic product price deflator that shows inflation of more like 10 and 11%.
Right. Yeah, and for a lot of people, it's more than that, especially people that have to buy a lot of gas. They're seeing enormous increases in their costs. 59% of Americans blame Mr. Biden for the economy and for all this. Is that fair?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, who else has been president? You can't blame Trump because it didn't happen. I have a show coming up in about...
What do you have tonight?
Yeah, 7:30 Eastern. I have a blockbuster. You know all the routine causes of higher gas prices, about not drilling and about green requirements and that stuff. But I have a new one for you don't know about. There were 3 mathematical errors which were made in the calculations of endangered species, which led to more restrictive rules on where you can drill than there should have been. And that accounted for a big part of the decrease in production and the increase in prices. A mathematical error. Somebody goofed. And we'll talk about that tonight.
That's a great tease, Dick. I appreciate you being with us.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Coming up, folks. By the way, Dick, 7:30. Make sure you tune in.